This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
As war clouds gathered over Europe and Asia in the late 1930s, U.S. military leaders and President Franklin D. Roosevelt began preparations for war, but only haltingly and quietly at first. Nazi Germany annexed Austria in March 1938, and in September of the same year, Germany took control of Czechoslovakia's Sudetenland. Hitler swallowed the rest of Czechoslovakia in March 1939, and along with the Soviet Union, overran Poland in September. Britain and France declared war on Germany on September 3, 1939, marking the onset of World War II. After a 6-month calm called the Phony War by the press, Germany invaded Norway and Denmark on April 10, 1940. Starting on May 10, 1940, Hitler quickly overran the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. In Asia, Japanese military aggression against China, ongoing since July 1937, resulted in the establishment of a Japanese-controlled puppet government on March 30, 1940, controlling most of eastern China. While these disturbing developments occurred in Europe and Asia, the United States was woefully ill-prepared for any significant military action. In August 1940, the United States regular army had about 280,000 men, and the National Guard from the various states consisted of another 250,000 men. In sharp contrast, the German army had nearly 6 million men, and the Luftwaffe an additional 500,000 in mid-1940. The Japanese, with a much smaller population than the United States, had an army of 2.1 million by 1941. Poland and the Netherlands both had larger armies, as did Francisco Franco's Spain, with a force of 950,000 seasoned troops. In August 1940, Robert P. Patterson assumed the office of Assistant Secretary of War, responsible for military procurement for the Army and Army Air Corps. His comment upon taking office, "The cupboard was nearly bare," accurately described the available stocks of weapons, equipment, and supplies. There were barely enough 1902 vintage Springfield rifles to equip the infantry, and new recruits often had to train with wooden rifles. Artillery consisted of about 5,000 French 75mm from World War I. They had wooden artillery wheels and were designed to be pulled by horses or mules. The United States had fewer than 400 light tanks, useless against Germany's 3,000 medium and heavy tanks. The cupboard contained only 200 37mm anti-tank guns. The Army Air Corps had just 2,775 planes, only 300 of which were combat aircraft. The rest were trainers. There were almost no stockpiles of ammunition.